Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. First of all, I want to say I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day on yesterday and you celebrated all of those men in your life who've been fathers. You know, today I want to also take a moment of personal privilege to say happy birthday to my great nephew, Jockin. May God bless you. May you continue to grow. And to also my other great nephew, Josiah. May you guys have a wonderful birthday celebration. Today, I invite you all to look with me at Galatians, the 6th chapter, verses 11 through 18 from the New Living Translation. A powerful text that comes to us. We see that Paul is giving his final advice to the church of Galatia. Notice what he does. He does something that is so powerful. In this passage, he says, notice what large letters I used to write as I was with those closing words in my own handwriting. Paul is reminding them that as I begin to leave you, I want you to know that God has to do great and wonderful things in you, with you, and through you because you are following the teachings of Christ. You have done all the things that you've been asked to do. I need for you not to be so legalistic about circumcision. I know that has been the ritual that you've had. I know many times we find ourselves being ritualistic like in the text. You know how we go through the rituals of doing things because we're supposed to do it. But we must make sure that even when we go through rituals, that we always do it with the right and the proper attitude. We must never boast about, look at who we are. Look at what God has done with us. We must always make sure we focus on Christ, who is crucified, who died, and is now resurrected. We must never substitute ritualistic practices for what God has called us into. God has called us to have peace. God has called us to understand that He wants us to be a new people. He wants us to be people who find themselves in love with Him. And that even though Paul is saying to them, I have scars in my body to show that I belong to Jesus Christ. In essence, he's saying that many of us have these external scars of the battles we've been through. Remember Paul, before he was Paul, he was Saul. He went about persecuting the church. But then when he became Paul, when God changed his name on the Damascus Road, he was stoned several times. He says, I have scars on my body. He begins to remind him there is a price to pay whenever you and I choose to celebrate and to follow Jesus Christ. He says, I have some outward scars that remind me of the inward commitment that I've made with Christ. Today, may all of us have an inward commitment with Christ, that it doesn't matter what our body looks like on the outside, but we got something great going on the inside. We have a relationship with Christ. We've been transformed. We've become new creatures in Christ. The old behaviors have gone away. The ritualistic practices are not the things that we focus on, but we focus on our relationship with God. Today, I want to remind you, there are some good rituals. Being in church on Sunday morning, on Wednesday evenings, and the different time we go to worship, that's a wonderful ritual for us to have. But we must make sure that while we're there, that we get a closer walk with God. Oh, I love that song, Just a Closer Walk with Thee. Granted, Jesus, if you please. You know, today you and I need to have a closer walk with Christ. Paul gives a departing message to the church of Galatia. I want you to get to know Christ, get to know Him better than you've ever known Him before. And then you can say that I am exceedingly and abundantly blessed. So take the Lord with you everywhere you go, and we'll look forward to talking with you again on tomorrow.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.